Hi, folks. Puffin here with your Antifa News Briefa for August 19th, August 18th, 2021. Trump is the Taliban. This is just going to be explaining how Trump is the Taliban. Let me take it back, because it's not just about Trump being sympathetic to the Taliban or helping the Taliban. It's about Trump is the Taliban. What the Taliban is and what Trump are, same thing. Terrorists, but we'll take it back. Terrorists of our own creation. Let me focus on that. Terrorists of the USA's creation. Rewind to the 80s. That's why I'm wearing the back in the day shirt. Ronald Reagan, who President Trump would probably say, greatest president since Andrew Jackson or something. He probably thinks Ronald Reagan's like the greatest president there was. Ronald Reagan's the one who set Osama bin Laden up to fight the Russians in Afghanistan in the 80s. So the Russians were fighting Afghanistan in the 80s, fighting the Taliban, which the Mujahideen, which America was supporting covertly. See Tom Hanks' movie, Charlie Wilson's War. Fast forward to the future when Tom Hanks' kid is spreading Trump virus genocide with his psych, don't get the vaccine video. So, cancel Tom Hanks, I guess, so his kid doesn't get any more money. But that's the only way to do it. If Tom Hanks hasn't cut him off, shamed him, and whatever, sued him. You don't want to support terrorists. So Tom Hanks, don't support the terrorist who is one of your sons. Anyway, we supported a terrorist, Osama bin Laden. We made Osama bin Laden what he was. Ronald Reagan did. I shouldn't say we, Republicans did. And that dragged, the Soviet Union, back when it was the Soviet Union, into that war in Afghanistan. Shortly after that, the Soviet Union wasn't the Soviet Union anymore. They broke up and everything, and it destroyed their country as far as Putin's concerned. So Putin's a huge traitor to Russia, by the way. But Putin is, spent his whole life seeking revenge, like trying to get revenge for breaking up his precious Soviet Union and what America did to him or his country, Russia, in Afghanistan. And so he's gotten his revenge. He's kept America there twice as long as Russia was there, 20 years instead of 10. We spent $1 trillion there and, lost a lot of lives and killed a lot of people. It's terrible. War is terrible. And it should show us that war doesn't work. Like the big message, what we should have gotten for our $1 trillion is the final lesson that war doesn't work. Let's stop doing it. That's worth $1 trillion. But, what could you have done with $1 trillion if you just given it to all the Afghan people or given it to all the American people or used it for things that are actually useful, not war? Anyway, so back in the day, all through the Atari years and the Nintendo years, NES years, and the Super Nintendo years, Russia was fighting Afghanistan. But when America started fighting in Afghanistan, people were playing the GameCube. So you had Super Nintendo, 64. I don't know if Russia was still fighting Afghanistan during 64 era. But then people started playing the GameCube. And then while America was fighting Afghanistan, they were playing the GameCube, and then the Wii, and then the Wii U, and then the Switch. Okay, just think about how much time has passed, how much has progressed in the rest of the world while the military is still doing their military thing, which when they're done after 20 years of it, you go right back to where you were before. It's pointless. It's a big waste. So we can stop doing military stuff. Now, how is Trump the Taliban? Well, because he let him out. Because Karzai, who was Bush's pick, negotiated the deal, even though he's not president anymore. Hamid Karzai is just an ex-president, American stooge, who negotiated the deal with the Taliban to hand over all the cities peacefully. Trump set it all up to happen. And he set it all up to happen so that it would happen on Biden's watch, because he knew he wasn't going to win by then. He's just doing this to destroy America as much as he can, as per Putin's orders. If you look at what Trump does and you're wondering or confused, just consider Putin tells him to do everything. So if Putin is also behind the Taliban at this time, and getting revenge on America for the way America did that to him or to Russia in the 80s, then Putin's behind them both. Putin's playing both sides of this thing, and he thinks he's all 4D chess, but he's still playing a war game. And we should be evolved past war games by now, in which it's all going to backfire and be a big, egg in Putin's face. But, we can work this out. We can make it good between people just by using different tactics than war. But Trump is the Taliban. He's the same pawn of Putin that the Taliban are. Both of these people act like, and they're going to have this big reputation for being their own people. The Taliban are like, they don't answer to anybody, and Trump doesn't answer to anybody. Except they both answer to Putin. Like, just check the records once you finally arrest him. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll get into more detail next time. But that's Trump is the Taliban, and we'll pick it up with the Trump virus genocide that they're putting on everybody is the further proof that, Putin doesn't care about us. He's going to do everything he can to destroy America just out of revenge. And it's not going to work. Should backfire, but we also don't need to get revenge on him or the Russian people for doing it. Just stop it and do something new.